Hello and welcome to episode 31 of I Will Cast Anything. We're here on Cloud Kingdom for a PvZ. The blue Zerg player spawning in the top right hand corner is SpeshlTectix. He says good luck, have fun. And the red Protoss player spawning in the bottom left hand corner is Azulez. He says same. SpeshlTectix sent me this replay. And is sending a very early scout. Whoops, following the rocks, that's no good. SpeshlTectix is a Diamond League player. Sending this drone straight away. I wonder if this was a random player because of such an early scout. And SpeshlTectix just droning up. I was 3 episodes into a 5 replay set from a player called Scapegoat. I did record the last 2 of those last night, but my microphone wasn't working and I didn't realise until I'd finished, so I will go back and re-record those games at some point, but not right now, because I like to go into the games cold, and it's going to be a bit weird redoing them after having seen what happens in them, so I kind of want to wait until I forget a bit. But getting back to this game, we see SpeshlTectix droning up. We see Azulez droning up after having dropped this pylon here. Do you see this drone just hanging around? Seems that SpeshlTectix really wants to know what is going on with his opponent. Very specifically, or is planning some sort of creep vomit, spine crawler, early attack perhaps. Spawning pool is coming down and it looks like the hatchery is going to come down as well. Meanwhile, the forge has dropped. To create that wall off, and sorry, I was just fascinated by this micro battle here. One drone does beat one probe head on, but the Zerg player choosing to run around a bit, thinking about stealing a gas, is stealing a gas at this natural. How very silly. Meanwhile, the spawning pool is up, and a real gas is being taken back in the main base to get that Zergling speed, and a small wave of Zerglings is coming out just to go keep an eye on things up. That drone has been recovered from that gas and is going to come back in and scout some more, but there's nothing going on in the main base. All that's happening is another pylon and then presumably a gateway in the middle with a cannon behind to complete this wall off. Azulez will have scouted this hatchery. I will know that there's not any crazy early pressure coming. We do see a second gas coming pretty early though from the Zerg player. Interested to see what he does with that. And more gas being stolen. This time it is actually maybe having an effect, although Protoss doesn't really need a second gas just yet. Protoss is getting that gateway, finish off this wall up, and a cannon. And getting a gas at the natural because he can't get this one at his main. Second hatch just about finishing up for SpeshlTectix and going straight away into lair. So double gas straight to lair. Zergling speed has not been taken yet, so going for an accelerated push towards some higher tech units. Could we see Mutalisks? Could we see early infestors? These Zerglings just hanging out here, they'll know because of all this poking around that the drone was doing earlier on that this wall will be up by now, so no point in attacking that. Cybercore comes down and plenty of gas banked up for Protoss to be able to research warp gate straight away. We do also see the first zealot about to pop out onto the field. Quite a few Zerglings out for SpeshlTectix, despite not having bothered to research Zergling speed, but we're about to see what his tech choice is because this hatchery is about to finish. And going straight for +1 weapons, Protoss not going for that warp gate research just yet. Getting that +1. Here comes Zergling speed and ventral sacks. So it's going to be some drop play from Zerg. That is interesting. Presumably that's why there's 2 overlords here, planning to pick up from this area and drop into there maybe. Have to see if overlord speed is taken as well. get that extra mobility. The Zerg force is moving around here. When we might just see a Zergling drop into the main. I think that might be what is going to happen, since there aren't anything but Zerglings out on the field and no other production buildings are going down yet. Yep, there goes Overlord speed. And more Zerglings, but Warp Gate is coming. And +1 weapons is going to finish, but the problem for Protoss at the moment is not enough gates to fight this off. Here come more gates. That will certainly help. 3 gateways. Still got a good amount of time before this finishes up. Baneling nest being built. Baneling drops. I like the sound of this. I think this is going to be fun. Not cast any games with Baneling drops in them yet, but I find the concept pretty exciting. I do like Banelings, and why not drop them? Protoss doesn't really know what's going on here. Hasn't really got any good scouting information as to what is going on. Hasn't seen any of these overseers, so won't know about their upgrade situation yet. Here comes the Zergling drop, it looks like. Oh, Baneling speed is just finished. We'll see if... Nope, not going to wait for Baneling... sorry, not Baneling speed, just Baneling nest, rather. They're not going to wait for that. Coming straight in. There's 1 Zealot here. 2 more gateways about to finish. And 2 more just started. But a ton of Zerglings are about to come out straight into this main base. And there aren't many units out from Azulez to deal with this. This could be a devastating early blow here. This pylon goes down. No more units can come out from these gateways. Oh, they does get 1 more warp off in, but there are so many Zerglings here. Now the pylon dies. Those Zealots will die as well. A lot of workers are dead. 15 workers killed already. Got another pylon up, so these warp gates are still powered. I think these 2 might not be. They're not, so those are no good for Protoss just yet. And these Zerglings just running around, wreaking havoc, and there are some Banelings morphing in as well now. I'm not sure where those are. Oh, they're down there. And Zerg is just doing a huge amount of damage here. SpeshlTectix has a cannon to defend this ramp, but nothing to defend his main. He's got a few Zealots out now, but there are still too many Zerglings. Trying to harry them away with the probes. Their numbers are reduced now to the point where they're not going head on. Oh, and that's a good engagement for Protoss there. Getting one-on-one is very effective, and the Baneling drops come in, but not fantastic, I have to say. Not getting the best possible hits. Well, Azulez has fought off that invasion, but at what cost? 22 workers killed. No major production structures destroyed, but those pylons will have to be rebuilt before unit production can get up and running again, so that Azulez can get up to those 7 gates that you want. And look at these Overlords, they're flying, tearing across the map. Just ridiculous, mind-blowing speed. No third has been taken behind this attack, and Protoss is watching for it coming down. Berserk has got a lot going on now. Roach Warren is nearly finished, and Zerg missile attacks are on the way, as well as Burrow. So quite an upgrade heavy game being played here, transitioning from this early attack into a more high powered army. And Protoss has some recovering to do. Got to rebuild a lot of probes. Got to get that army strength back up. Focus on something other than madly rushing around defending against that drop. Finally getting a stalker out. And some sentries as well here. Try and shoot down those overlords if they come in again, but I don't think we'll see any more overlord drops. Although it's not impossible. Might see some roaches dropped. Why not? Don't think anything has come out of this Robo Bay yet either. We do see an advanced pylon being put down, but no observer out yet for the Protoss player. And still just no scouting information whatsoever. Hasn't known what's going on at all. Roach speed is being researched. Burrow is nearly finished, as is +1 missile attack. And there are 16 roaches out in the field, but Immortal on the way from that Robo Bay, and a respectable army finally fielded by Azulez and starting to move out onto the map, maybe thinking about some aggression, since the Zerg's early attack was pushed off. That was a lot invested, especially a lot of gas into getting really early upgrades for those overlords. So there is potential for a counter here, and a big wave of Stalkers just warped in. And Nidus Worm coming from SpeshlTectix here, so planning some more unconventional ways to get into his opponent's base. But I think we're going to see an engagement pretty soon here between this pretty sizable Roach army and these Stalkers. Some good force fields could be crucial here. Oh, but he's been caught out of position. He's got quite a good surround here and some good force fields. Protoss is quite well placed to take this engagement, but I think there are too many Roaches, and that +1 upgrade really paying off. Well, I think that was maybe as good of an engagement as really could have been hoped for Protoss, but just outproduced in the army front. Behind in supply by 20 now, lost all those sentries and running back home with the Stalkers. Meanwhile, more Zerglings and more Roaches are coming. The Mortals are holding on back in the base here to defend, and thirds have been taken by both players now after that little skirmish. SpeshlTectix just sort of building up his army at the moment, getting another hatchery out there. Taking double gas at the natural, she had not done yet. And both players hanging back at the moment, rethinking, what can I do next? What's my next move against this player? More misslets, more upgrades for the Roaches for the Zerg player, and some armor upgrades for Protoss, trying to negate that weapon upgrade advantage of his opponent, and getting lots of Immortals out to deal with those Roaches. We do see a Changeling coming in here to get a bit of a scout off. See what's up. Squelch. You see that wall off, and it's going to get blown up. How embarrassing. And another drop is coming. Lots and lots of Roaches. It's amazing to me seeing Overlords move this fast. It's quite frightening. I feel like they should have some sort of like rippling hair behind them, flapping in the breeze. There is a pretty sizable army here from Azulez, still 20 behind in supply, and that probe will have seen this drop coming. I think it's going to be murdered here for its troubles, which is a slight shame. But SpeshlTectix does know that this drop is incoming, and these Overlords can't fly over this Stalker army. They will have to drop. I don't think they're going to be able to get past here. Can they? Possibly? Squeeze through? No. No way. One goes down. Two go down. Oh, these are full of units. This is bad, bad, bad news. The Zerg, two more Overlords go down. Supply blocked now and losing units at a pretty high rate as well. Well, that plan did not work out at all for Zerg, and it looks like there's going to be a counter-attack from Protoss now. Could see a base race potentially if... Oh, indecision from the Zerg player. Can't decide whether to push on or to run back to defend against this counter-attack that he suspects is coming. And it looks like we might have a base race. Zerg is going to drop straight into the main of Protoss. Protoss is going up the front ramp of Zerg, taking out creep troopers at the moment, and there's not much at home for either player to defend against this. Here goes the drop into the main. There will be some warp-ins to fight this off. Ton of Overseers there waiting to be picked off. Nidus Worm has gone off as well somewhere. Oh, straight underneath this drop, so full-on base race we have now. There's a ton of Roaches in this main base. They're eating through everything, going completely uncontested. Getting up into the main base now as well is this huge Protoss army, and again there's nothing here to defend it. All of these structures are gone. The natural has already been wiped away. Protoss is running away to try and rebuild somewhere else. Zerg is fleeing all those fast Overlords. At least they can get out of there pretty quickly. Looks like all the drones came through the Nidus Worm as well, so knowing the base race was on, it looks like we're going to see Zerg expand inside Protoss's main. That's pretty wild, especially considering there are no minerals here. Perhaps not the strongest of plays, but it's bold and it's funny and I like it. SpeshlTectix now coming down into this natural, which has been mining all the while, trying to desperately save up some minerals to rebuild a base up here. Protoss looking pretty good at the moment. Cleaned out his opponent's main. Got a few more structures down here to deal with. But has got a ton of probes here with which to set up a new base. And a good bank to throw down some defensive structures. But there are a lot of roaches too. They're going to take out this last nexus. No gateway power left for Protoss at the moment, so can't produce any units. Zerg does have a hatchery here, but no spawning pool, no roach warren anymore. Both players trying to rebase at the moment. There's just a small structure, but look at this massive, massive stalker army. You might see an engagement between... Look at how many roaches there are. So many roaches. 41 roaches, 24 stalkers, and... how many immortals? 5 immortals. It's going to be close if it does come to a fight, and it looks like it might. And whoever can wipe out the other's army will be able to walk over the remaining bases uncontested, so GG will almost certainly be given. Protoss is chasing Zerg, but Zerg has found the base of Protoss. And here comes the engagement. The roaches are moving in, trying to get close enough to take on those immortals, but the force fields push them back, and the immortals doing huge amounts of damage. 20 supply lead for the Protoss player at the moment. And just chasing, 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 but no bases left for Protoss. Gets the surround with the workers. Oh, but moves the mineral walks them through. That was a bit of a mistake. Will now be revealed, but that doesn't matter. Zerg too focused on this battle to get any mining going at the moment. Just trying to keep these roaches alive. Only 25 left. Now nearly 1 stalker to 1 roach. I think Protoss has got this one. His last remaining base is done for. A wave of Zerglings has come out. And another base is going down for Protoss, who still has a ton of probes. Zerg wiping out this last base. Needs to expand here now to get some mining going, I think. Barely has enough to do it. And is mining long range from down here as well now. Trying to get an economy back and going. Protoss has nothing going on except this huge army. It looks like we'll take another expansion. What a weird, weird game. Two armies just dancing around each other at the moment. This Nexus is going to go down, might be cancelled in fact. But the Stalkers are in, and I think this might be it for Zerg. Taking out that Nexus was good, but, well, I guess someone won.